talking about what the defense might look like, in the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
I think the most interesting development of the first week of camp so far has been the amount of time that Quinyon Mitchell is spending inside.
Good point.
And working there today with the first-team defense. Now, Avonte Maddox rotated in as well, was spending a little bit more time at safety today than he has in the past couple practices. But I think as we try to figure out what the picture is going to look like on defense, now Cooper DeJean still out, so we'll see how he factors in. But Quinyon Mitchell maybe being like a week one starting nickel, I think is very interesting.
Well said. I agree with you there. I think it's noteworthy that we're now, tomorrow's a week in the camp, right? 5 practice sessions we've seen. And it's been Isaiah Rodgers, Kelee Ringo, Isaiah Rodgers, opposite Darius Slay.
Tilted a little bit more towards Ringo.
Yes. I would say a lot more.
Yeah, I'd say like about 70-30,
exactly.
75-25. And then there are a few times where Slay is out and the two of them are on the field together.
So
but yes.
I was wrong about this. I thought going into camp, Mitchell would be rotating in, and you would get to a point like the second week or so where Mitchell would be the guy on the outside. The fact that Mitchell is taking more and more snaps inside.
Great comment from Christopher W. So he says he remembers the one time I said that Ali Fayed flashed in camp. Yeah, he did. He had a good day. What can I say?
All right, thanks for that contribution to the conversation. So the fact that Quinyon Mitchell has been taking more and more snaps in the slot, and that's that's clear. He was mixing in a bit early on. Now he's with the first team, like you mentioned, and taking quite a bit. Most of his snaps today were in the slot.
Yes, I would say so.
Yeah, especially in team drills. Like in one-on-ones, he was facing the outside guy. So what stands out to me there is, they are, I think, looking at Ringo and or Rodgers starting opposite of Darius Slay and Quinyon Mitchell as a likely or potential option day one in the slot. Cooper DeJean, we don't know when he's going to be back. They said 3 weeks. Sometimes when they say 3 weeks, it could end up being 4 or 5, right? Regardless, he might not get much time here in training. By the time he gets back, you might be looking at your 3rd preseason game. So they need to start thinking, all right, who makes sense here in this slot? We spoke on yesterday's show. Quinyon Mitchell played in the slot in college, played inside, outside.
He said today he talked after practice today. Said he spent almost no time inside in college. He said he's barely ever played slot before. That's what he said today.
Am I wrong about this?
I don't think he spent significant time inside in college. He said today he has very little experience inside. The biggest adjustment is finding out where your help is. It was also interesting that he said this was not something that was like floated to him before the summer.
Okay.
Like, maybe spend some time practicing this on your own. This was like he just showed up to practice one day and the coaches were like, you're inside today. And he's just taken it and run with it so far. I think he's looked pretty good in that capacity, but this is new for him.
Yeah. So I have here, he has not taken a lot of snaps in the slot. He did play there, but not that often. He took in the slot 52 snaps in the slot throughout his time at Toledo. So not many.
And I would even bet that those were probably like he's shadowing a specific guy who happens to be inside. But yeah, he said it's been an adjustment, and he was a little bit surprised by it. But he's taken the opportunity.
How do you think he's looked in there?
I think he's looked pretty good so far. Yeah, he's in both a nickel and dime, and then I was not watching the one-on-ones, but it sounded like he had some good back and forths with AJ Brown.
Yeah, so he went up against AJ. The first one, I thought, frankly, the ball was underthrown. I thought AJ beat him. The ball was underthrown, but it's red zone, so maybe the ball was put kind of where it was supposed to be. And AJ kind of had to come back for it a bit. Quinyon was in tight coverage, and then Quinyon stared him down afterwards, right? Okay. And this goes back to spring when Quinyon Mitchell,
right?
He doesn't talk when he talked trash to AJ.
Right.
I'm pretty sure that
like,
did
what?
have. Yeah. I mean, I'm not imagining that he did say that. Yeah, that was making fun of myself for the slot thing. Okay. And then the second one, he had real tight coverage. A.J. Brown made a one-handed catch, corner of the end zone, was ruled out of bounds.
Yeah, I saw this just out of the corner of my eye, and there was like an amazing catch from A.J. Brown, one-handed right in the corner, but yeah, he only got 1 foot down.
Yeah. So you look at that and you say that.
And just contextually, I mean, even though it was the red zone, one-on-ones between wide receiver and DB is the wide receivers should win.
Sure.
85% of the time.
Now red zone might be a little
bit different, but
sure.
yeah.
So yeah, Quinyon Mitchell. I think that obviously we talked about long term Slay's replacement. I said that on yesterday's show, but short term in Brazil could be in the slot there.
We all silly like the mayor.